So, hey guys, we are on the Limitless Army Above the Cut team call on Tuesday nights at 9:30. Thank you guys for joining us. Very briefly, I hope all of you are doing the health bet. And if you're not, you definitely should consider doing the health bet because I think the cash pool is definitely at $2 million, and who knows where it'll get to by the end of the month. So definitely something to be part of because I don't know, I feel like Darlene and I were talking and we're like, I feel like so many people are going to fall off mid-month that there's actually a chance to win some good money.
Yeah, I'm like 200, bring it on. Or
right?
More.
I feel like it's going to happen. I don't know. So if you haven't joined the Health Pet group, you can reach out to me or Darlene or anybody else or start one yourself and get it going. So today we actually have a guest speaker, my friend Jamie. Jamie and I met at rehearsal for the Size Next Level DVDs. So Jamie has a really cool, I'll let her tell you her story. She met Sean T and is like his best friend now.
Right.
A couple days she was his best friend. And she is a diamond coach, right? And you're with Team Misfit?
Yeah, Misfit Republic.
Misfit Republic. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
She's super cool. I love talking to her. I think we talk to each other at least once a week, maybe more than that. And she's also someone's success partner here on the Limitless Army, somewhere around here. She's definitely knows her stuff. If you've never followed her on social media, you should, because she's one of those people who like every day posts their workouts and every day has a smiling picture up and is just super motivating. But she's here to talk about 3 mistakes she actually feels like she made when she was a new coach so that we don't make the same mistakes. And then she's going to talk a little bit more and give us some advice on next steps going forward and planning and that kind of stuff. So I am going to mute myself and you can take it away, Jamie.
Well, first I want to thank you, Melissa, for letting me speak tonight. This is super exciting. And I wanted to start off because I kind of wanted to give everyone a background about obviously how I started coaching and how I got into this whole Beachbody thing. My daughter was born in 2011, and in 2012 I was ready to like get back to myself. I had lost all my weight from just eating better, and then I started running. So I was running every day. It was the summertime. It was gorgeous out. Once it hit October, it started getting cold and it was dark when I was running in the mornings. I ended up I stole my brother's Insanity DVDs. I stole them actually back in June, and they sat on my shelf until October when I decided that I wasn't going to run anymore. Threw it, push play. I almost died on the fit test, but within like a couple weeks, I started noticing like my body changing, and I've never worked out before where like I followed a routine or anything. So I was just a runner. So I'm not sure if anybody's like familiar with running, but running kind of, I was like a stick. So I had no muscle tone. I had nothing. So with Insanity, I was getting a booty. I was getting a whole bunch of things that I fell in love with fitness. So, and of course, Sean T, he was like, I loved him. So from there on, I was like, I have to keep going. I continued this was 2012. I continued to do all of his programs for about a year and a half. I went on to the Asylum. I did Focus T25. I did it all. And then I decided, I was like, I want to be a health and fitness coach. I didn't want to do Beachbody coaching. I saw like it on the DVDs and I was like, no, I don't think so. I signed up for a online course. It was a business course. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Marie Forleo, but she has an online business course where she kind of teaches you how to start your own online business. In that course, I met Andrea. I don't know how we became friends, but after kind of going through some of the course, I realized I was like, doesn't it make sense for me to just join Beachbody? It's everything I want to do already, and it's already in place. Everything is already there, like the concept and everything. I didn't have to make stuff up and start my own courses and anything. So I reached out to her and I basically told her, I want to do this, how do I get started? Now, this was back in April of 2014. I had already started a semi-following. I had already started a Facebook page because I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I loved it, but I wasn't really going anywhere. And I started my training. On our team, we're lucky enough that we have a website that, my coach Andrea and her success partner Joelle, they teamed up, just kind of like you, Melissa and Dorlani. And, they had these trainings set up for us. And I dove right in. And I was watching these trainings all the time. But I wasn't implementing anything. So I will give you a little bit of a statistic. My first year from April until December, I only made about $400. So I was getting frustrated because I felt like I was working the business, but I really wasn't. So one of the first things that I realized now looking back was that I wasn't doing the vital behaviors. So I was spending a lot of my time organizing. I was trying to figure out a system for myself, and I was trying to figure out, I was watching the trainings, but I wasn't implementing anything I was learning. And the key thing that I wasn't doing was inviting. So I was literally just kind of getting people here because they knew that I was into health and fitness, and they kind of knew what I was doing, but it was almost out of luck because I wasn't doing the what I should be doing to talk to people behind the scenes and do all of this. So I was also ironically, I was spending a lot of time reading my personal development because I love to read, but once again, I wasn't implementing what I was learning. So with this, my shift, and it took me a couple years, like this, we're almost 2.5 years in now. And it's just taking me until now to realize how important inviting is. And I sit down and make sure that no matter if I get nothing else done, if I get some invites out for the day, I know that at least I did something to push my business forward. So that was one of the biggest ahas looking back. I was like, why did I waste so much time? I spent so much time trying to build my own website myself. Like oh my gosh, I spent hours and hours trying to build it up, which right now it isn't even working. Like I don't even have it, not paying for it anymore. It's just nothing. So it was just a waste of time that I could have spent building more relationships or talking to more people or adding to my network. Like I could have done things like that. I was wasting time on menial things that didn't mean anything. So, and then the next big thing was I was playing the comparison game. So when I started, it's kind of nice to friend a whole bunch of coaches, and obviously you're making new friends and stuff. So I had all these coaches on my timeline, and all I kept seeing was what post this one is doing and how this one is making an ad and what kind of group they're doing. And what it did was it distracted me. And it comparison is the thief of joy. So of course you're going to start seeing all of their accomplishments and start comparing yourself. They started the same time I did. How come I'm not where they are? And then I also felt overwhelmed because I felt like I had to do what they were doing. So if they were doing their ad this way, I almost felt like I had to. It distracted me from what I really should have been doing. And I found myself doing extra work that I didn't even really like. And I was doing ads for certain groups that I really wasn't enjoying, or I didn't really have a passion for, like the free groups and all this stuff. And I stopped. The comparison game just totally, it just distracted me from, once again, my vital behaviors of inviting and building my relationships and stuff like that. So what happened, what I did was actually on a call with Bonnie Engel. I heard her say, because she mentioned this whole thing, she recommends her new coaches to follow like some of the top coaches and stuff for the first couple months. Kind of get a groove of what you like, and then unfollow everybody. I don't even think I follow my own coach, but it's just because it makes you forget who you are, because you feel like you have to become what they're doing. You have to do what they're doing. And I know in my own timeline, even now with all the ads, my whole ads are all coaches or all coaches. That's the only people that I see in my timeline. Even though I'm unfollowing all these people, I'm getting the Facebook ads full of what they're doing. And it still distracts me, and I don't know how to get over that. But I remind myself that they're on their journey, I'm on my journey, and I have to follow what's in my heart and follow my own schedule of what I want to do and what my business is looking like right now. And it also, obviously through more personal development, which what I learned also I was reading a lot, and with my schedule, I have 2 kids, I have a home, I have a husband, I have a full-time job. This is my part-time gig for right now. I will be full-time coach, but not right now. I was spending too much time reading, and it was taking away from other time with my family, with the stuff that I could have been doing to build my business and move it forward. So what I've learned is audiobooks and podcasts have become my life. And I don't have a far travel, but whenever I'm in a car, I'm listening to my podcasts to get, whether it's for my personal development or whether it's training, just to learn more about how I can build my business forward. That has helped me also, which I definitely recommend, especially if you have a busy schedule and you feel like you're all over the place. Like right now, if I was just cleaning up my house, I can throw on my headphones and listen to something for half an hour, and you can get it knocked out, and you feel like you accomplished something while doing something, that doesn't really take much thinking to do. So, and the next point that I realized that I was doing when I first started was that I was selling versus sharing. Ironically, I hate salespeople, and I came into this business because it wasn't about selling. I did another network marketing company. Maybe it's been about 9 years now. It's been that long. They were complete cold calling people on Sunday nights. I would have to call people randomly and ask them if they wanted to join this opportunity. And it was so uncomfortable, and it just made me feel so icky. So to come into a company where I believed in their products, I already had results from their products, yet I wasn't sharing. I wasn't, you know what it was? I wasn't using myself. So that is the big thing. I think a lot of people, especially as new coaches, you have this misconception that to be a coach, you have to be Beachbody. And I think it's actually the complete opposite. The people that do the best with coaching and with this business are the people that have made a brand out of themselves. So when you make a brand out of yourself, you are sharing pictures of yourself. You are sharing video of yourself. For me, that was so scary for me in the beginning that it took me at least a good year for me to finally start taking like selfies. Like I'm only really getting into it within the past year. So I hated the way I sounded on video. I hated the way I looked on video. And this comes along with personal development. As I did my personal development, as I grew as a person, as I learned to love who I am, and you have to have self-love and confidence and all this stuff, it becomes easier to share your story and to share your journey and to not sell, because it's not easy to sell, but it's easy to not be you. So it's easy to kind of hide behind the products instead of actually sharing what you're going through and sharing who you are, because that is probably one of the biggest things. That's probably one of the biggest parts of this business, and one of my favorite is the growth that we go through. So that is what I learned looking back on it now, is it took me all that time for me not to, I was hiding behind, I was a big quotes person, which I still am now, but I've learned to use my selfie game now. I've learned to take myself, my kids make fun of me because after my workouts, I sit in front of the window and I do my selfies. And my son, oh my gosh, if he was here, he would die laughing because he sits and makes fun of me all the time. But it's what you need, because people need to see your face. How can they relate to a shake bottle? They can't. It's just they'll just scroll right by. So when people see you, and that's what, and even the videos still freak me out, but the more you do them, the more comfortable you get. So I would definitely recommend stepping out of your comfort zone. All right, this is me stepping out of my comfort zone right now. So when you step out of your comfort zone, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Now, I also just wanted to say, I have over the 2.5 years that I've been doing this, I'm coming to learn that the two keys to, in my opinion, what becomes a successful coach is consistency and perseverance. So I have learned that the more consistent I am, because I have gone through spurts in this business. I have gone through periods where I made nothing, and then I've realized that if after I do, I've heard they say it's about 3 months. So from 3 months of work, of consistent inviting, consistent building and adding to your network, then you start reaping what you sow. So now it's been about 4 or 5 months since I've been consistently going at it. I've consistently sat and tracked and invited and done it. And now I see it. It's starting to show again. But it's once you lose that momentum and that consistency, it's like you start back at zero again, and you have to start all over. So keeping up with that, no matter how minimal it is, just even if it's you're inviting one person a day or talking to just a couple people a day, it will make such a difference than if you just post one post here and then post maybe 3 days later. I was doing that a lot, and then once people started noticing and seeing me, and they realized that they expected my posts every day and they expected my workouts and all this stuff, that they trust me. And when they have trust in you, it's easier to talk to you. It's easier for them to reach out to you. It's easier for them to talk to you about things that I've had people talk to me about things that they didn't even tell their families yet. And it's because they trusted who I was from what I was sharing. So those were my big ahas that I realized that I did from starting, and the mistakes that I made that I've turned around, and I'm slowly making the changes now in my business, and I'm seeing the difference, and it's built my confidence, and it's built me as a person, and I've been growing from it, and that's really what's gotten me to where I am at this moment. So thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. I saw a lot of head nodding. I'm going to give everybody some time to think of some questions, because I know usually it takes a little moment to be like, oh, what was I going to ask? But what personal development books, you said you've read a lot, or podcasts or whatever, do you typically are like your go-tos, or that you think are like must-reads?
I'll be honest. Lately it's been more podcasts, because I feel like it's so fresh. Like the podcasts I listen to, they're changing every week. So they're getting new information and new stuff like that. I don't know if anybody's familiar with James Wedmore.
No.
Have you heard of him?
What's his last? How do you spell his last name?
Wedmore.
Okay.
He is like, I don't know if you guys are woo-woo or not. Our team is very woo-woo. We're very into manifesting. We're very law of attraction. That's how we roll. He's like that, but he's like more business. It's called the Mind Your Business podcast. I definitely recommend it. I was listening to his today, and I was like, I kept shaking my head like, yes, you're so right. He's amazing. And then Eric Thomas, of course. He's like, I love him.
Yeah, those are great podcasts.
Yeah, he's got a really good. And I listen to Shanti's every week too, but his aren't really. I don't know. Like, I listen to it every week, and I like those. Those other two are my favorites right now.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ronaldo said, "Where can I find these podcasts? I'm not into podcasts, so I'm clueless." So if you have an iPhone, then you could just get them through the podcast app through the iPhone. And if you have an Android, there's a bunch of apps that you can look up. Like there's Stitcher and a couple others you can look up for podcasts. So does anybody have any questions? Anyone? I'm going to unmute because I think I have to unmute everybody. So in case you have something really loud going on in your house, mute yourself right away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow.
That was good. Oh, Podcast Addict is good for Android, Wanda said.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, let me tell you, I've been drinking protein shakes for a long time. Like, ever since way back when we first met. But, like, let me tell you, I like it a lot. I like it a lot because it doesn't taste chalky, you know what I'm saying? And I could do all kinds of recipes.
So somebody's asked, were you good at sales?
No, not at all. I hate sales.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other company that I was with, they sold like toilet paper and tissues and shampoo and conditioner and stuff, like, not fun at all. Definitely not. Yes. It was Amway. It's funny.
Anybody else have questions?
Jamie, what would you say to someone that loses the confidence and doesn't know how to get back to it? Like, what do you recommend? Is there a book you recommend, or someone who's scared to speak to people, like their confidence is low? What would you normally recommend or, say to the person?
Low confidence is always personal development. It has to. The books that I really, last year, that like really changed me were You Are a Badass.
Love that book.
And Get Rich Lucky Bitch was more of that has a lot of confidence in it too, but it's that's more a law of attraction too. But that was an awesome book too. I love that one. Those are definitely. But when it comes to confidence, I think it's, well, you know what too? Also doing something that makes you feel like you value yourself. The beginning of the year, I have my coach, Andrea. She works with Rachel Luna. I don't know if you guys know who Rachel Luna is.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. She has a course that she does once a year for like thousands of dollars. I met her back in January when I was out with Andrea and a bunch of girls from the team. And she was like, I'm going to do my course because I knew I wanted to work with her. She's like a business coach. And it came up to her deadline. And I had talked myself out of it. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I need to do this. I have to do this. I didn't have the money for it. It was like $5,000. $5,000. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I went out. I went to the bank, got myself a loan, and I did the course. I purchased the course. just literally from me doing that, my confidence went through the roof. And it was only because I realized that I valued myself. I valued myself enough that I was actually going to go into debt to learn more, to build myself more, and because I knew that it was something that I needed. And it just by doing that, by taking that step, my confidence went through the roof. Just from that. I think when you have low confidence, I think you have to leap. What is it the saying? You have to leap before knowing if the net's there. Like, you kind of just have to do it. But the personal development is such a key to it as well. Because you have to get over your bull crap in your head.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like when you're more confident after you do a certain workout, or you have, you've signed up your first coach, or you start speaking to that first person, it's like you learn a little bit more about yourself, and then, you're like, okay, I could do this. But it's just like you said, you have to throw yourself in there so you could start developing your confidence in that way. So that's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I also liked what you said about you wanted to be a health coach and you didn't want to do Beachbody at first. And then you realized just how much it was like everything is in there. Because I know like a lot of us on Instagram or Facebook will bump into people who do some type of, or say they do some type of coaching, and we're afraid to reach out to them. We're afraid to say, hey, you're into fitness, you should try Beachbody, because we think that like they have it all figured out. But it's kind of cool to see. I mean, I know for myself, I was a fitness instructor before I became a Beachbody coach. So I know we don't all have it figured out. But like that idea that, a lot of coaches feel like, oh, well, they must be perfect, that this person already knows what they're doing. When at the end of the day, Beachbody does have a business in a box.
You can't assume. You can't put people's I don't know the word. You can't assume what people want. Like, you can't assume what they have. You can't assume, like, you don't know. You could see them on the computer screen and it could be all roses and rainbows and unicorns, and behind closed doors they're crying themselves to sleep every night.
Right.
So you just don't know. You can't count people out just because you think their life is a certain way. That's why I don't take no for a no. No is just not right now. And I will ask anybody. I'll talk to anybody that will talk to me. Basically.
Now, before we go, you did not tell the story about how you even got into the next level workouts. And I think that's so impressive. So I know you and Pablo are like, yeah, whatever, we did that. But it's like the coolest thing.
Okay. All right. So what had happened was last year, like I was saying about I read the Get Rich Lucky Bitch. So I started learning about manifesting. I started learning about law of attraction. And I started doing things. I was writing my goals down and all this stuff. And my team is very into it. So that's just how we are already. So I started this back in February. Maybe July came, August came, Size came out. And of course I bought it because I love dancing. I love Shanti. And all of a sudden, like, it popped up something about his Share Your Size contest. And I was like, you know what? Like, I had already posted a video earlier that day. I was like, you know what? I'll put the hashtag in there or whatever. Literally that same day, he shared my video. I became one of the Share Your Size winners. And I was like freaking out. I was dying. And then he messaged everybody because we had to email because he sent out prizes or whatever. I was dying that day. And then he followed everybody too. So he was following me on Instagram. So I was freaking out. And then maybe like a week or so later, I had this like itch to message him. And I messaged him on Facebook. And it was the day before my birthday. And I was like, he's not going to answer me. It's Sean T, whatever. he ends up answering me, and we end up going back and forth for a little while, just talking or whatever. And I made a comment to him. Once I won that Share Your Size contest, I was like, I already had this goal of being in a workout video with him, like forever. But once that happened, that I won that contest, I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I told my girls, I was like, by the end of the year, I'm gonna be in one of his videos with him. And I proclaimed it. That was it. It was done. Once I talked to him the day before my birthday, this was only like a week later, I made a comment to him, and I was like, I have a dream of working with you one day. I was like, I know it's going to happen. I don't know when. I was like, I know it's going to happen. Literally, like, then he starts making comments like, well, there might be a chance of you being in the next round of size videos. And I was like freaking out, obviously. So we went back and forth for a little bit, and then he messaged me while I was away. I was away in Florida, and he was like, I need you to come. It was like in the beginning of September. He was like, I need you to come to like audition for the videos. So that's what I thought it was. I thought we were just literally auditioning, and I found out that Pablo was going to be there, because I remember Pablo. He was one of the winners too. So we went to audition, and then that day they brought us over to meet him. And then we were on like his Periscope. He did a Periscope with us there, and yeah, it was probably one of the best days of my life. But it happened. That was only like within a month of saying it.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, like, all of these little contests that Beachbody always does, and so many coaches are always like, I'm not going to win that, or I'm not even going to try. Or the health bet, for example, so many people are like, whatever about it. And it's like, no, this stuff is real. Like, this is real deal. They don't just post things and not actually have you, like, have winners and have real people get these experiences. So
yeah.
And then you were actually in the workout afterwards, which was
it was crazy. Social media is like amazing. Ever since he like actually answered me back, I was like, I feel confident to like basically message anybody, and like celebrity wise or anything like that. And you can like, some people answer you. Like I messaged one of my husband's like favorite rappers, and I had him call him for his birthday, and he did it. And like that's social media. You can't go wrong. Yeah. Wow, exactly.
Yeah, so maybe we should all get into manifesting if you're not into it yet, because it's the truth.
We need to get in that, yeah.
If anybody else doesn't have questions, I'm gonna end our webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. I think it was a great call, and I know a lot of people were like, yes.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
And I'll send you the recording, so in case you want to put it up on your YouTube or anything, you have it.
I would love it. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.